and welcome to the 5th anniversary special of DieCastRestos. I'm Jason, and yes, amazingly, this channel has made it to its 5th birthday. I created the channel on the 1st of March 2019 in readiness for my first video release on the 24th of March. I celebrated the 1st anniversary revisiting the Lomas Ambulance I restored in that first video. So this time I'll revisit my second ever restoration, Matchbox's 73C Mercury. Throughout this video I'll have comparative footage from that old video. There's plenty more steps that I do now, so expect a few breaks from the old clips. Back then I didn't go into as much depth on the history of the casting or the real car, so let's do that now. Lesney introduced the 73C Mercury in 1968, replacing the 73B Ferrari racing car. It was painted metallic lime green, had an ivory interior plastic piece which included two dogs sticking their heads out of the rear window, a clear plastic window piece, chrome hub wheels and tyres, and Lesney's auto steer system. The base plate was shared with the 55D Mercury police car, and so is cast as number 55 or 73. 1968 Mercury was cast directly into the base plate, though later simply Mercury replaced it on a raised plate. The base incorporated the grille and front and rear bumper detailing. The model transitioned over to the new Matchbox Superfast line in 1970. It kept the metallic lime green and was fitted with narrow, low friction wheels. The wheel arches were widened in 1971 to allow for the larger wheel types. These models had the fuel filler cap removed from the cast, and occasionally these bodies could wind up on the regular wheels era cars. However, despite being a rare variation, it isn't a particularly valuable one. To coincide with the release of the 59D Mercury Fire Chief car in 1971, the base plate was modified to read 59 or 73. The 55E Mercury police car therefore had its own individual base when it too was introduced in 1971. Tooling was modified for the 73C in 1972. It had roof bars added and the hood was flattened to allow for the application of stickers. These models were recoloured red. A black on orange bull's head sticker was added to the newly cast space on the hood. The fuel filler cap returned to the casting before it was discontinued and replaced by the 73D Weasel Scout car in 1974. As seen from those intricate side badges, the casting is based on the Mercury Commuter. The Commuter was a full-size station wagon produced by Mercury from 1957 until 1968. It was based on the Monterey series, and on launch was priced lower than Mercury's two other full-size station wagons, the Colony Park and the Voyager. On launch it was powered by a 312 cubic inch V8 or had the option of the 368 Lincoln V8. At the time, the Monterey had just entered its second generation. Until 1960, all Mercury station wagons were hardtops. They also offered a retractable rear window which was not available on Ford wagons. It was initially available as a 2 or 4 door wagon. From 1959, all Mercury station wagons were combined into the Country Cruiser line. It was absent from Mercury's lineup in 1963, making way for the smaller Meteor station wagon. The full-size platform was reinstated the following year after the Meteor's discontinuation. The Commuter could now be powered by a 390 cubic inch V8. The 6th generation Monterey launched in 1965, which is the generation my Commuter is based on. This particular model is a 1968 car, the final year of the 6th generation Monterey and the final year of Commuter production entirely. The Commuter had been phased out permanently. The only remaining Mercury station wagon after this point was the Colony Park, the model to which the Commuter was the lower priced alternative. So in 5 years of restoring vintage toy cars, you can see that many of my methods haven't changed much, or haven't changed at all. One thing I regret from the early days is using oversized screws to hold the body and base together. You'll have seen them really protruding quite substantially in my old footage. Also, the use of pliers to remove the burrs from the axle ends is a tradition that is gladly dead and buried. But what I set out to do on this channel is hone my skills and record my progress. It's safe to say that my techniques have improved, but that has come from learning. Mostly that is down to the incredible feedback and suggestions that I've had in the comments over the years. Without viewer feedback, engagement and the odd like and subscribe, this channel wouldn't be here today. So thank you, the viewers, for sticking with me and coming along for the ride. I didn't half make things difficult for myself, forcing paint out of my Molotow pens only to then brush it on the hubs. Direct application is the only way these days. My video from 2019 saw me use automotive paint for the first time, in the form of Rover Applejack Green. While I loved the shade, going as far as using it on my later Mercury Cougar restoration, it wasn't a perfect match to the original factory paint shade. This time around, I've used the fluorescent yellow polycarbonate paint that coincidentally I used on my Mercury Cougar rat rod restoration not that long ago. I've coated it in pearl clear to give it a metallic flake and then sealed it with a clear lacquer coat. I think this will be a better match to the metallic lime green Lesney used. You can judge for yourself in the video outro when I have both new and old 73Cs next to one another. But this dab of chrome on the axle ends is the final touch before reassembly. Here then are all of the parts that make up the Mercury. First in goes the window piece over that shallow rivet. Then the washed and brightened interior plastic follows. Then with that snuggled tightly inside, the base slots over the top and is connected using a pair of magnificent and much improved 3mm M2 laptop screws. This then is how my second Matchbox 73C Mercury looked. It's actually the same model that features in the footage top left. It's taken me 5 years to get around to doing it, but what a way to celebrate that milestone by revisiting it. Make sure that you hold on till the video outro to see both new and old meeting each other for the first time. This should be a slightly nicer reveal than the old one without those blinding LED lights of my old turntable. And here it is, tastefully refreshed and hopefully you agree, an improvement on my efforts from 2019. Where does the time go? Tell me in the comments how long you've been following the channel. I'd love to hear from each and every one of you watching, especially the OGs who subscribed back when it all began. I want to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch this or any of my videos. It means a lot to me that I can share this hobby of mine with so many people. Without you, there would be no DieCastRestos. Special thanks must go to those who contribute to the channel via donations or with memberships on YouTube or Patreon. Your pledges seriously keep this channel alive, as it isn't a hobby that is as low cost as it used to be. And of course, cheers to my subscribers. Let's hit 6,000 ASAP, so if you aren't subbed yet, why not? But all that leaves me to say is thank you for watching, and I'll see you again for the next 5 years of content. Hopefully. Bye for now.